We have all been sold a lie. We're told that we should always be working on ourselves, constantly improving, constantly growing, constantly striving for something more. But what if self-improvement isn't helping you grow? It's just making you more insecure. What if it's not healing you? It's just another mask you wear to cover up the fear that deep down you're still not enough. I used to believe that the answer to all of my problems was to create the perfect life for myself. I told myself that if only I could become smarter, prettier, more successful, then everything in my life would be sorted. And so I did course after course, I read book after book, thinking that if I could just know it all, if I could just stuff myself full of knowledge and impress everyone with it, then everyone would admire me and I would finally get that validation and love that I craved. I would spend so much time daydreaming about the life that I wanted for myself. And I thought that if I could just maintain the perfect weight, get clear skin, get the perfect guy, and build the perfect life, that dream life on Instagram that we all want to flex, right? Then I would finally feel better. I would finally feel at peace with myself. I would stop feeling so inferior or less than all the time and actually feel comfortable in my own skin for once. I bought into the collective lie that chasing that dream version of myself was the answer. Until I realized that the more I chased that future version of me, the more unattainable and out of reach she became. The more I thought I had to work on and fix in myself, the more my self-esteem plummeted. My to-do lists would grow and I would become more overwhelmed and more conflicted, and my mental health really suffered. Because here's the truth. You can't improve your way out of shame. There will always be more to fix, more to work on, more things that you could do. And when you are desperate to change your life and to level up to finally feel free and at peace with yourself, what you are really doing is you are spending every single day at war with yourself, picking yourself apart, being mean to yourself. And at a certain point, I realized that self-improvement was nothing more than a distraction, and all I was doing was running away from myself and running away from the present moment. And ironically, all it was doing was stealing my mental energy and my attention and focus away from actually being able to live my life, because I was never present. I was always anxious, always overthinking, always planning, always chasing, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, and I was utterly miserable. And I realized that you cannot escape yourself. Even when you finally make it, guess what? Your demons are still going to be there. Your demons don't just magically disappear, they come with you. So I once dated this guy who had sold a multi-million-dollar business and he had retired early. Everything was perfect. He thought that he had achieved everything he wanted in his life and there was still so much life ahead of him. But he told me that he still couldn't sleep. He still had chronic insomnia. And he thought that once he sold his business and he got rid of all the stress that was associated with running that business, then he would finally be able to rest and enjoy his life. But that didn't happen. And he was living in this beautiful beach house. He had nothing to worry about, freedom to surf and play beach volleyball all day, travel anywhere that he wanted to go. He could literally do anything that he wanted. The world was his oyster. But on the inside, he still felt empty and miserable. And instead of enjoying that life that he had worked so hard to attain, he was in intensive therapy. He was doing psychedelics, he was doing ayahuasca, anything that he could get his hands on, still trying to chase that sense of peace that he hadn't found yet. Because the truth is that peace doesn't come from achievements, it comes from within. And nothing that you do, nothing external is ever going to fill that void within. You have to do the inner work if you really want to be truly fulfilled and happy and really enjoy your life. What society calls self-improvement is often just self-abandonment. It's like having a parent who only loves you when you win, but not when you fail. And that's how we treat ourselves. We become that parent that only approves of us when we are doing well in life. And we are hypercritical of ourselves when we don't meet our own standards. And in doing so, we are abandoning that inner child within us who just wanted to be loved unconditionally. Even when they're difficult, even when they're inconvenient and imperfect, even when they failed that math test, we all just want to be loved no matter what. That's the real thing that we crave. It's the love that a lot of us never received, but that we must also learn to give to ourselves. Because without it, we are going to feel perpetually insecure and inadequate no matter what we do in life. Because only loving yourself when you finally become successful or beautiful or rich isn't real love, it's a transaction. When you build your self-worth and your self-esteem on the foundation of achievement, it is incredibly fragile. Because the moment that you gain a little bit of weight or something doesn't go your way or you mess up, then you don't love yourself anymore. You feel like crap again. You beat yourself up and you abandon yourself again. So the solution is to learn to love yourself without condition, to love yourself unconditionally. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, it means to love yourself no matter what, through thick and thin, through highs and lows. The thing is, we all dream of having a partner that would love us like that. But how many of us actually treat ourselves like that? And if we can't even treat ourselves like that, how can we expect to treat someone else like that? So we need to learn to be unconditional with ourselves, to give ourselves grace, even when it's not earned, to forgive yourself, even when you've been a massive idiot and you've done something completely unforgivable. Because we all do it. We all do dumb things. We all make dumb mistakes sometimes. And that's what real self-worth is. That's what real self-esteem looks like, is we love ourselves no matter what. Here's what I want you to remember. Self-improvement without self-acceptance is just self-rejection in disguise. It might look productive, it might look empowering, it might look glamorous, but all it is really is insecurity wrapped up in pretty packaging so it can be sold to you as a solution. You see, capitalism thrives on your self-doubt so that you buy more, you do more, you work harder, trying to fix a you that was never broken to begin with. And if you buy into that lie, you will never feel fulfilled, because deep down, your real self still feels unseen, unchosen, unloved. Real healing begins the moment you say, I love you now, just as you are. Not because you're improving, but because you are already enough. Only when self-acceptance becomes the foundation can self-improvement truly become something that's empowering and not just a way for you to punish or reject yourself. So how do we do that? Well, first, stop seeing self-improvement as a message where you need to change yourself, but start seeing it as an invitation to release who you're not and remember who you have always been underneath the fear, underneath the conditioning. This isn't about reinventing yourself. It's about coming home to yourself. Not just putting on a new mask, but finally taking the mask off and becoming free. Self-love doesn't come from external change. It comes from the internal permission to simply just exist. And it was only when I gave myself that permission, when I finally loved all of me as I was, that I was able to evolve from a place of peace, not pressure. And that's when I found my purpose. That's when I began to create from a place of truth. And that's when I created the Relove Project. So I really hope that my story was able to help you and it was relatable to you. If it was, please like and subscribe to join the Relove family. We'd really love to have you. We make videos every single week on self-love, self-acceptance and healing. If you want to find out more about the Relove Project, you can check out the links down below. We also do affirmation apparel. I'm wearing a cropped t-shirt right now, so you can go have a look on the website and see if there's anything that you like. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.